when you were a teacher, what were some of the issues that you kind of saw?
From being a teacher now to oversee our school programs, that it takes a group effort, from teacher to coordinators to mom and dad or whoever the adult person is in the house. If the child gets the full support, then you'll see all-around success.
We're spending 40 hours a week at our jobs. That's the same for the child. And I don't think that we realize that that's their majority of their life is being spent there.
Because there are going to be moments where we won't be there. And when he's at home, you can't be, wait till tomorrow and you can figure it out with your teacher.
Yeah.
No, it's, Mom, I can't figure it out. Okay, let me help you. Because that not only gives you a chance to.
Hi, my name is Sienna Calderon, and this is Legacy Circle. Today with us, I have Monique Smith.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So I want you to introduce yourself, who you are, and what it is that you do.
So my name is Monique Smith, and I am the project coordinator with Harris County Department of Education in the Department of Cage for Kids.
Thank you. So I want to start off by take us back to what school life was for you as a child.
So, school life for me in elementary was so long ago. I know I look like I'm 16, but it was actually fantastic. It was in Third Ward, Texas, which is not too far from where we are. I went to Ruby L. Thompson Elementary. My principal was Billy Joe Johnson, where at that time, every teacher knew you. Your principal had access to your parent, and they had your mom's number on speed dial. But even in that, it was a full community where everyone really cared. And it was more so not just for standardized testing, but for the full holistic of the child. And so if there were sports going on, it was not just the mom and family at the games. It was the principal out there. It was your first grade teacher out there rooting for you. It was your third grade teacher out there rooting for you. It was your neighbor. And then for middle school, I went to Johnston before transferring to James D. Ryan. And Johnston, before they changed their name to Meyerland Middle School, was a music-based school where I did piano and choir, and I loved it there. But also, it was a community-based school where everybody knew everybody, everyone rooted for everyone. And then transferring to Ryan, it was the same thing. High school was a population, of 300 students. And my graduating class was 28 people.
Oh, wow.
Not your ideal high school now, where high school looks like colleges, where the population is probably 10,000 and the graduating class is over 1,228 students. But in that, with the 28 students that we had, there was a competition of who was going to try to be first. And so the school that I went to, I was able to graduate with an associate's degree in computer engineering.
Out of high school?
Out of high school.
Oh, wow.
And that was it. Like, I can say that my growing up in the type of atmosphere pushed me into the career that I have. And it gave me the passion for my purpose for education, and wanted to make sure that each student gets the same, if not greater aspect and greater love for education. Because if it just takes 5 minutes for someone else to pour into me, then that same 5 minutes I can pour into another student for them to have that same love. So I feel like that is just the greatest thing. So.
Well, you said holistic approach, and I think that's, I would say, something that seems like we are missing in today's age. So when you were a teacher, what were some of the issues that you kind of saw as far as just maybe what the environment and what was being kind of promoted as far as just like relationship with child and family? Did it feel like a community in your eyes?
Well, when I was a teacher, parents feel as if because the child is with you most of the day, then you need to be the person that enforces the discipline. You're the person that enforces all the things that need to happen. So if a child doesn't get an understanding of the lesson with you, then the parent feels like, well, it's not my job to do it at home. By the time the child comes home, it's on me to make sure that they eat whatever they have at that time and they go to bed. That's it. Teacher, you need to make sure that they understand this lesson. It's not for me to do it. And I don't see it like that. In order for a child to fully understand, then it's a group effort for me.
Yes.
And I can say that from being a teacher now to oversee after school programs, that it takes a group effort. That from teacher to coordinators to mom and dad or whoever the adult person is in the house, if the child gets the full support, then you'll see an all-around success in that child. Not just teacher teaching, these after-school program, reinforcing what was taught in the day, then adult parent, hey, let's check this. But sometimes with things changing and the curriculum ever evolving, there are some adults that are like, I don't understand this new math. And it's not really a new math, it's just a new way of teaching it.
Yes.
2 plus 2 will forever be 4. 6 plus 6 will forever be 12. So it's not a new math. It's not. It's just a new way of teaching it. And now students nowadays have a different approach of understanding. They want to see you do it, then let me do it. That's a way for me to digest it and regurgitate it back to you. No longer is it here, you figure it out. Okay, now how did you get to it? They get lost in the sauce, they get distracted because there's too many things out there to distract them. You have to break it down, let them do it, simplify it, and then they can show you. And so that's something that I've learned from teaching to now to in my role as a after school coordinator to oversee everything, that if we are able to get everybody involved, then the success will be better.
Yeah, and I like what you said, that just the whole fact that it is a group effort, because I mean, just how we have our jobs that are 9 to 5 and we're spending 40 hours a week at our jobs, that's the same for the child. And I don't think that we realize that's their majority of their life is being spent there. And to have that communication, I know even when I was a child, like, I remember we had like a sex ed class, and the communication at the school that I went to between the parent and the teacher was just like a paper that they needed to sign, but there wasn't actual communication of like, okay, what is the curriculum? What are maybe some things I can already be introducing to my child so they feel more comfortable in the classroom versus it just being a whole awkward situation for everyone. So, I mean, with education, being such a long lasting institution, what are some things that you're seeing that, whether it's innovation, whether it's a new way of thinking, are there things that you've seen that are now being implemented in today's classroom?
I'm seeing students wanting to teach others. I'll say that. Because they're not getting what they're asking for from their teachers.
Okay.
unfortunately. And with that, that's where I'm able to step in with the after school program and to give my coordinators the tools that they need to help their students. Because I'm not okay with them getting all information off social media or getting it off the internet because some things is not correct. I can go on Wikipedia and edit information. And so that means some things can be wrong. But also in that, it's helpful to, like you said, get the parents involved. With that, I kind of become a nagger with parents to let them know, hey, that Johnny is interested in robotics. Don't just sign this paper. You're responsible for this equipment. So that means while Johnny's learning this equipment, you have to learn it too. He's learning how to code. You need to learn how to code too. We're going to code together. So that means even though he's here with us in a program for 5 days, on every Thursday you need to come to. So that even though he's going to take this a little further, if he gets lost and don't know what to do, you need to be able to know how to help him. Because there are going to be moments where we won't be there. And when he's at home, you can't be, oh, wait till tomorrow and you could figure it out with your teacher.
Yeah.
No, it's, Mom, I can't figure it out. Okay, let me help you. Because that not only gives you a chance to learn, but that's giving you a chance to bond with your child. And that's what I feel is missing in everyone's home. Because students nowadays are real self-aware. The generation now goes beyond what mental health awareness is. And they want to be validated. They want the support. And they just don't want it from each other. They want it from their adult family. And when they get it, the validation comes, then they'll succeed and they'll feel more proud of themselves. Then that creates a safe space to where I don't have to outsource it from anybody else or go find it anywhere else. I can go to mom or I can go to that adult and make that a reoccurring thing so that mom be okay. Hey, I saw you were doing that. Let's try this again. Or if there's something that is happening with the new math, then mom will be okay with asking the teacher for help too. Then it builds the relationship, and then we're getting back to the group effort.
Yes.
So,
Well, I like what you said that because I think it even kind of goes down to like just this simple curiosity of what it is that your child's learning, and okay, it's not just for you to learn. It's like you said, it's a team effort,
it's a
and
team effort.
I like that. And tell us some of the programs that you guys are offering because coding, I know that's something that is a big thing. Tell us some of those things.
So we offer at Case for Kids not only coding, we do entrepreneurship through kids entrepreneurship, financial literacy. We have the cooking. We are about to do the healthy living, which I'm trying to bring you on for helping us with that. We also have the content creation that we're going to push through this summer with our middle school program. We have partnerships that we're working on with Tech Fest Live and the Dynamo, with others when it comes to golf, anything that a child or a student has interest in.
Yeah.
I'm going to find someone to partner with.
How do you I mean, how do you guys go and seek what these kids are actually needing? Where do you guys get like I guess the information or
Well, we have needs assessments that we do, but also it's conversation.
yeah.
It's simple conversation. I learned that once you just build that rapport with a student, because I go on my programs probably each program attendant I have probably 3 times a month, and I just sit and just play with the students, go in there to their classrooms and their clubs, and
Just sit and have a conversation. How was your day? What'd you do today? How's your mom? Your sister good? You're great? What you doing over there? You like doing that? You like jewelry? So whatever they're doing, they're like, Miss, I don't like this class. Well, why you don't like it? Because the teacher. Okay, so it's the person? Yes. Okay, but you like the activity? I like the activity, but I don't like how they doing, how they teaching us. Okay. Because the students are not gonna lie. They're bluntly honest. And I appreciate that. So it helps me get the real deal information
Yeah.
so that I can change. Okay, hey, they don't like how you're teaching, or they just don't like you. So let's switch you out, put somebody else in, and then we're gonna keep the activity. Or if they don't like the activity, because they might say, this is for babies, got it, thank you. Let's change it.
Yeah.
So if this is for babies, what do you want to do? Can we do this? Got it. Find something on this. Here you go. And then try something else. Like I have a site, a middle school site out in Spring, and my students asked for dance, and I asked, well, what type of dance? Show me. So they showed me on TikTok. I said, no, I don't want TikTok dances. No. I said, if you want dance, then we'll bring in real choreographers to teach y'all how to dance. Not twerk. I mean, like a relay count where you can do something for real. For real, miss. If this is what you want, then we will do it. But if not, if you still want to stay with the TikTok, then you can stay with the TikTok. You have to, I need your buy-in, and then I'll get it. But if not, stick with your TikTok. So, but it's from them. And then same thing with the parents. If parents, once we have our each semester quarterly meeting, if they're saying, hey, I'm working on trying to buy a house, can we get somebody to come in? Sure. First time home buyers will have that meeting, and then we'll do follow-ups. Or if they want to get back in, they want to try to work on their degree, then we'll have the meetings for them. Because it's just not for the students. If the parents are not getting the resources, then they're not going to want their students to stay in the program either.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's a community and group effort.
So touch more on that, because I wasn't aware of that. So you guys, when there's a how does that conversation go about with the parents?
In the car ride along sometimes, or so we make it mandatory that in order for your students to stay in the program, because parents get off work around 5 o'clock and pick up at 6:30, we make it mandatory that you do a orientation. So orientation is just going through code of conduct, but it's also let us know what you want for you. All right, do you want your student in the program for homework time? Oh, okay, great. But what do you need besides a babysitter? Because that's not what we're here for. What do you need as a person? Do you want information on how to save because you want to do a trip this year for your family? Do you want information on how to buy a home? Do you want to get a degree and how to get scholarships for an adult learner? Do you want ESL classes? Because we have that. Do you want to know how to make another trade? Or do you just want to know information just to know information? Do you want to know how to write another resume? Whatever you want to better yourself as an individual, as a parent. Or do you want to know how to just better the relationship from you as a parent to a child, from your child? We have that. If not, I'll find it. But I find that if you as an individual are not being fed daily, whatever it is, then you won't keep coming back. If a restaurant food is good, you're going to keep coming back. If it's bad, why are you there? Why would you spend money? If something is good and you like it and you enjoy it, you're going to keep coming. You're going to keep coming. So if we help you and you're getting what you need and want, you're going to keep coming. You're going to refer. You're going to stay. And you're going to bring more people to you, which means you're going to make sure your child stays and stay longer. And then you're going to make sure that they come back another year because now you want more resources too.
Yeah.
So it's not only retention, it's sustainability.
I love that. I mean, you touched on a lot of things, and I think one of the biggest things is, like you said, it's the parent has to feed themselves, and I think sometimes we kind of miss that when it just becomes just about the child. So tell me, so if you guys don't, do you guys also offer some of these courses? Is it just if the child is in this program and the school, you guys already have the partnership with the school essentially?
Yes, but so we also have, so we have the 21st century that serves the 10 schools within under the 21st century grant between both cycles. But then we also have county connections that serve within the county.
Okay.
And then we have city connections. So depending on, so there are grants, as long as you're within county or city limits, there are grants and after school programs available to you, even with our partnership program. Right now, within Harris County, we probably have over 270 programs going at the same time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so, as long as you're in within a 10-mile radius, there's a program close to you.
Yeah.
I truly believe there is a program close to you. If not, we can get one to you. And even right now, we're in the midst of launching and giving out the county connections. And so that's going on through the summer. And so there are programs that are happening and about to launch literally within the next 30 days.
Okay.
And so that's about probably between 70 to 120 programs just for the summer so that they can still receive resources.
Yeah.
Because students are about to be let out. Some school is about to be out. Children need something to do.
Yeah.
Parents will be like, my child is at home. They need something to do. Sure. These resources are available. Not just to the parent, but for the student too.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. So, what can you share some of those summer courses or summer programs that are going on?
I know that the programs that are available, the organizations that are having programs this summer, Legends to Live does have one, Monarch Academy. I'm going down a whole list of people that I believe have been awarded, but I believe the whole list will be out probably next week.
Okay.
And it'll be on our website with hcde-texas.org, and they'll be available probably within the next week.
Okay.
And they're all around the county, so within each of the 4 precincts,
Oh, nice.
all around the county.
Are these programs
Free.
free? Okay. Yeah, I was about to say.
Free.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
Free.
That's wonderful. And, tell us, because I think too, I'll say this, I think sometimes the parents need like what does the curriculum look like? And if are there resources online as far for the parents?
Yeah.
To just be like, hey, like these are some worksheets we can go through over the summer instead of just like, okay, just do what you do, Okay.
So I would say, because I'm a parent that likes to be proactive for my son, Case doesn't always offer them. We don't offer them, but for parents who just want to do for their student, I would say one website that I can use for my first grader who's going to second grade, Greater Minds
Okay.
is a good website that you can pull. They do have things. You can click on the link just for parents. You can get a free access for parents. Amplify.com is something that's being used inside the schools right now.
Okay.
A supplement program for students, and you can get access for that through for parents. Also, ABC Mouse is something that I've learned, but that's strictly for elementary.
Got it.
But
Okay.
for those who want something for middle school and high school, I'm not sure, because that curriculum is a little different when it comes for testing. That would be something that you might want to contact with your district, because it's a little different on what the standardized testing. I will say, if you go on the website of all the standardized testing sites, you can print a practice packet for each grade.
Okay.
and just go through it.
Yeah.
For parents to want to know what their child stresses over, because the teachers, like you, teachers unfortunately get their pay raise on how the students perform, but students don't get any kind of raise on how they perform,
Right.
unfortunately. And parents don't get any kind of supplement on how their child performs either, which kind of sucks. But to get ahead, we can go on the standardized testing sites and print out those practice tests and just see what's out there, because not much changes from year to year.
Yeah.
And we can just ask the student, hey, do you understand this? Is this hard? Unfortunately, most of our students get caught up on reading and the reading comprehension of the questions, because the wording of it gets confusing to them and what they're asking. And most of our students, depending on what the words say, what the words are and how they're placed, would catch them, would get them kind of confused on, do I need to do a certain equation, or do I need to, is it asking me to subtract or add or multiply? And so I would say for parents to go on and try to do that.
Okay. Yeah, those are some really good resources. And as far as the testing goes, or just, I guess, as far as learning goes for the kids, I know with just all that's going on with HISD and the NES and all that stuff, but how, because I know that, and you work with Reading with a Rapper, like that reading and literacy is something that they're just heavily struggling with now and has been an issue for a while. So I know that I know I've spoke to some teachers. I know that there's like some intervention processes that have been going on, but how are you guys kind of helping with that as well?
Finding their interests. So Reading with a Rapper has helped me a lot in my schools. But I have one NES school in HISD, and I purposely use Reading with a Rapper for that school on purpose, because my my upper grades 3, 4, and 5 were down 2 grade levels in their reading.
Oh wow.
They just weren't getting it. But they weren't getting it because what they were reading wasn't interesting to them. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I tried to find out, what did they like. And so I started buying books that caught their interest. One student liked dinosaurs. Okay. So I started bringing in books that was on their level, unfortunately. So it was a 5th grader who was on 3rd grade reading level. And I brought in books that were on dinosaurs and just bringing it every day. Let's read 30 minutes. And then, unfortunately, with NES, they have to stay on a time limit.
Yeah.
In the after school program, we're not deemed by that time limit. So every day, 30 minutes, I will have the student just read and read out loud. But also, what did you read about? Okay, tell me about that. Did you really read that? Did you understand it? Okay, next day, let's read. And so the confidence level grew. And that's what the issue was. They weren't able to comprehend and to regurgitate what was read.
Yeah.
Because the things that they were reading, they didn't understand. Like, what was the main idea? What is a main idea? They didn't know what that was, because the fundamental concepts were not broken down to them in a way that they could really understand. It was just rushed on them.
Yeah.
And so we have to get back to the basics and not rush things on a child. If we see that a student is not comprehending what we're teaching them, yes, it'll take a little away from what everybody else is doing, but just taking that extra 5 minutes will keep you from reteaching that again 2 weeks later from now.
Right.
It really will. And so the reading comprehension, what we do is just that, just taking that extra 5 minutes and breaking it down to a level that they can understand. with Reader or the Rapper, they took the lyrics where it's stuff that they listen to all the time. They know what a hyperbole is, simile. Geez, I know what it is just by the music lyrics. And so I do appreciate Reader or the Rapper for that. But it's just helping them get it to a level that they can understand.
Yeah.
So it's meeting them where they are and then building them up to where you want them to be.
I agree with that. And tell me, so something that I'm noticing as well is, I mean, with the book bans, right, and with all these different things, that it's kind of hard for the kid to be met where they're at in schools, right? If that is, well, that being such an issue, how are, I'll just say, like, personally, like, as a parent, how are you filling in some of these gaps, right? Because, I mean, whether it's history, whether it's reading and some other things, that they're just not getting that information, or might not be factual to its full, So how are you as a parent kind of filling in, and also where they're not kind of, I feel like sometimes the students go in and they're like, okay, well, this is a load of crap, or they also, their confidence in the teacher and in where they're at in their environment is kind of just gone down. So
Yeah. Well, as a parent, I feel like my son has a advantage
yeah,
because I am not a smother mother, but a full hands-on parent who is in education. And I do want to thank where my son is. My son goes to KIPP, Texas. And the teachers that he has and that he's had in the past have been the parent that has been more of a parent when he's at school. And then I've been like on the back end, like, what did you do? Okay, now let's take it further. And so even his first grade teacher now, Miss Cooper, is phenomenal. She has taken the time to teach history. Like, they had history projects and made them do it so that they can have their English comprehension time and their reading, but still doing the history project. That they do their science projects, but still doing the reading comprehension. So she's taken the core stuff, but still doing what is required as a teacher. But me as a parent, I go over and beyond for him. And I know that I am different. And I know that a lot of parents don't have access like I do with the things. But we do science experiments at home. I sit and maybe my son watches the news. He sit and watches the 6 o'clock news, and then he watches world news. It's like, Mom, and this is the 7-year-old that I have. Mom, the tariffs. Jeremiah, can you spell tariffs? No, Mom, but I saw that. Thank you. But and then I also started when he was younger putting the caption on at the bottom. So while he's listening, he's seeing the words at the bottom, so he's able to follow along. So that's something that I did do. But as a parent, I try to pour into him my teaching part, and it's pushed him further than some of his colleagues, some of his classmates, that he's a first grader that knows timetables. And I hate it because now he's asking me timetables. But he knows how to add money in first grade, and he's great. But it's taking the time.
yeah,
And it's the effort. Coming home from work, because I know he gets out of school, and a typical day for most parents is do your homework, eat dinner, go to bed. Because I'm coming home from work, I want to lay down, eat dinner, and go to bed. But as a parent, we have to understand that if we don't take that time like we want the teacher to, to pour in and to overlook the homework so that we can see that it's right, to understand that what he's doing so that he can understand what he's doing before we eat dinner and go to bed so that he can be secure in himself.
Right.
I can't expect his teacher to do it too. So it's just, as a parent, I have to go the extra mile that I am expecting his teacher to do as well. That's all. It's just what I expect his teacher to do, I have to do it too.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I'll say this, well, let me ask you this. How do you teach your child to advocate for themselves? And the reason I ask is just because I feel like sometimes, right, whether it's your kids already like advanced or or some other issue that they're encountering, maybe it is with the teacher. Sometimes we as parents want to kind of take control, but then we also need to teach our kids to advocate for themselves. So how is that something that you've taught your child?
I've taught him to speak up and to say that he wants to do more. Even if he's not comfortable, I've told him to say it. Even in altercations with a student, if your teacher says for you to do this and you're not comfortable, say, I'm not comfortable. And if they persist, say, call my mom. If you're done with your work and you want to do more, say, hey, I need to do more. Or if it's something that you're given and you don't understand and the teacher is not trying to help you, stand there and wait. And I mean, stand there and wait. I said, Jeremiah, just like you stand there and you wait until mommy is done with what she's doing. And you say, hey, mommy, look at this. And I said, Jeremiah, give me a moment. And you wait until I have a moment. You need to do the same thing. And he does. His teacher has told me, Jeremiah waited. Because one time I was in car water line, I said, where's my son? He's still at Miss Cooper. I said, why did you? Mommy, you told me that I had to wait because I wasn't understanding this problem. And Miss Cooper said I got it wrong and I didn't get it wrong. And I knew I wasn't. And he had tears in his eyes because he knew he didn't get it wrong. And she looked at it and she was like, I'm sorry, Jeremiah. I said, I was really about to be mad at you because you had me start wait. But, okay, come on, let's get McDonald's. Let's go get McDonald's. But it's that, like, son, if you know you're right and you know you got this right, go show her.
Yeah.
And he hates getting things wrong. He does. And
I understand.
and I get it. But you know, it's hard. And I've been here. But it's just that, like, just say it. If you feel like someone's not listening to you, say, excuse me, and wait. Don't be rude. Just say, excuse me. And they'll get to you. But speak up. Talk for yourself, because mommy's not always going to be there.
Yeah.
But if you feel like they're not listening to you, then mommy can be there. But yeah.
Oh, I love that. So this being Legacy Circle, I did want to ask you, what is the legacy that you want to leave behind?
Wow. To know that things will continue and that my reach has gone further than my fingertips. To know that behind me there are people and students that have been touched, that have been impacted because I've gone the extra mile for them. Not just because I want them to be great, but I want them to be great for someone else. So.
Well, I love that. Thank you for joining us today. And let us know how we can reach out to you or the organization.
Yes. I'm at, where am I at? Instagram is, it's ITSMJ Smith. That's Instagram. Or you can just find us at hcde-texas.org, Case for Kids.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.